What's up, everybody? Hopefully, everybody's doing well today. So, in this video, we are working on a part for the Fast and the Furious Eclipse. The one in the movie, the valve cover is polished. Because if you look at the pictures online of the car at a museum, the valve cover, it has like a dull finish to it, and that's because in the movie they polished it. I'm not gonna do that because that is a pain in the ass. Polishing does look good, but I think polishing is only worth doing on parts that are flat or easy to do, not something like that, you know. So in my case, I'm going to powder coat it. I have powder coated parts for my lowrider because they don't make chrome parts for the 3.9 V6s on the Dodge Dakotas. Nothing chrome, so I had to powder coat my own stuff. I will get stuff actually chrome later, but anyways, I'm going to powder coat it. It's easier because depending on how good I actually prep the valve cover, it'll look pretty close like chrome, or if I don't do that much of a great job of prepping it, then it'll look like slightly different shade of if it was aluminum polished. But anyways, we're gonna get to where this pretty much looks polished, because if you do something that is polished aluminum, you have to upkeep it, and that's just a pain in the ass. Powder coating, it stays like this. Since I powder coated my valve covers on my lowrider, they have held up really well. So I'm gonna powder coat this, and it should hold. And then I'll be painting the letters yellow and blue like the one in the movie. Okay, so I already began stripping off all the paint. I used the paint stripper spray that they sell at Walmart. There's a couple different ones that they sell, but I don't remember which one I used. I think I used the one that has like an orange in the logo, something like that. So I used that. I got most of it gone. Now I have to just use a wire wheel or this wire brush. This works excellent. For example, when I have this on a die grinder, peanut grinder, whatever you want to call it, once this starts spinning, the wires, they fray out to fit wherever you need to, use this with. It's freaking cool. So, I forgot to bring my tripod today, so you guys are not gonna see me do this step by step, but I'll be pretty much saying what I'm doing step by step. Okay. Well, now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use that wire brush, finish it off, and then wipe it down with acetone paint prep with a rag, and then I'll show you my little powder coat setup once I get to that. So let me do those two steps, and we'll be right back. Okay, so I couldn't get every little nook and cranny with that wheel, with that wire that I was using. So I did a little bit more paint stripper and was able to get it with a brush. So I went ahead, after I was done with that, hosed it down. So now there's water everywhere in the valve cover. So right now I got it at 450 degrees. I'm gonna steam up, make that water evaporate, and then that way I can start powder coating as soon as it's out of the oven. So what I'm gonna do now is get myself ready for powder coating. I got my box up here. I think it's already hooked up to the chrome powder. So let me just set up my powder coating kit, connect it to the air compressor, and then be right back. Okay, I got the valve cover ready to be powder coated. I put covers where the hoses would go. I'm not worried about putting powder coat right where the hole is. That's fine. Before I put it in the oven, I'll just rub my finger on the threads on the oil cover plug and just toss it in the oven. So for powder coating, I gotta have at least 10 to 15 psi, and I have a little leak, as you can see or hear. Okay, so I'm gonna need both my hands. So I got my ground hooked up to the valve cover itself. You could do it to your oven tray, but sometimes the powder won't stick. And then when your powder coating has this clicker, so once you hit it, when you hit the trigger on the gun, it'll make the powder release a negative charge. The powder attaches to the negative charge to the part. So let me do this real quick and be right back before I toss it in the oven. Okay, that only took about 2-3 minutes to do. So now the valve cover is completely covered right now. They do sell these nipples, the rubber caps. They are rated to go into the oven. I think they're rated for like 600 degrees or whatever, or more. I don't know, but I can just go ahead and take them off. They don't have to go in there, but they can. So, but I'm gonna just take them off. So now I'm gonna go ahead, toss this in the oven, and hopefully it starts turning color. And so what the deal is, I wrote down my little reminder. When you're gonna powder coat, preheat to 450, then put the part in the oven. When you start seeing color change, drop it to 405 or 410 and leave it in for about 20-25 minutes, and your part is done, and just let it cool down. And once it's cooled down, it's ready to be installed. Just to give you guys a heads up, when you are powder coating used parts that have had oil run through them, it will start to smoke. The smoke is okay. Your part will not catch on fire in the oven. I've done a few of these already, and it won't catch on fire. So you're gonna see a ton of a lot of smoke, but you will be okay. Okay, right there, like okay. So let me toss this in the oven, and I'll show a little bit when it's in the oven once it starts turning its color. Okay, it's in the oven. It's gonna be in there for a while. When it starts changing color at 450 degrees, it normally takes maybe anywhere between 10 and 15 minutes when it starts changing the color that it's supposed to, and then drop it down to 405 or 410 degrees and let it bake in there for another 20-25 minutes, and then turn it off, pull it out, let it cool down. And once it's cooled down to the touch, it's good to go to be handled in any way. So I'm gonna clean up and wait for that part to hurry up and bake. But yeah, I use this simple Eastwood powder coating system, the dual voltage one. I forgot how much I paid. I think when I bought the gun, I bought a couple of cans, some of those. I bought some powder. I bought those rubber caps, and I bought different types of plugs as well that are rated to go into the oven if need be. And I bought some high temperature tape as well. It's easier to go with these if you don't have to use high temperature tape. Wow, I can't speak today. But yeah, it's a simple. But I think I paid maybe less than 220 for everything that I got for the powder coating. You can use any size compressor as long as it stays at 10 to 15 degree psi. That's when it shoots the best. And you always want to make sure that you have filter on your gun. Once there's moisture in here, it screws up the whole process. You're gonna have to redo it. The good thing about powder coating is if you screw up, you accidentally touch the part, if you smear off the powder, all you gotta do is add more powder. But if you do let moisture get into the powder, you're gonna have to empty out the canister, throw out that powder, brush off the part completely by hand with a rag, and start over and spray back on, toss it back in the oven. And it's really simple. It's pretty cool. You can do a lot of things with powder coat. You can make things look like candy paint as well, which I think I plan on doing for my lowrider, and maybe a couple of parts that are like a candy blue color in the Eclipse. I'm gonna do it that way too as well, I think. But I gotta remember which parts are candy, that kind of look candy blue, unless I'm thinking of a different car. But oh well, let me put this stuff away, and we'll see how the part is doing. Okay, it's been about 6 minutes, I think. Oh, sorry, get a little low. And it's starting to turn into a chrome color. So now it's time to drop the degrees. I'm gonna drop it to 410. I'm gonna set the bake time. Oh man, how do I do this? I think I'll set it at about 19 minutes. I wonder if I set it. Okay, now it's set. So 19 minutes, this thing will be ready. I'll turn it off, pull the part out, and let it cool down, and I'll show you guys the finishing product. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Oh man, beautiful. It's not smoking too bad right now because I used a lot of paint stripper to take all the paint off on this valve cover. On the other valve covers that I have done, a lot of those I mainly did like hand sanding because they were easy. Mainly flat surface, you know, like old rounded, soft, flat valve covers were easy to do. So I just did a quick sanding, and it was down to bare metal. And those did smoke up a lot because obviously this one I pretty much pressure washered it when I first did the first set of paint stripper because I wanted to get it all out of there. So I guess a lot of the oil in the valve cover was gone by now. So this one isn't smoking as bad as I thought it would, but it did smoke up when I was evaporating the water from when I just had to do a little bit of paint stripping to it, and the nooks and crannies that I could not get to. So I'll let this finish baking for another 17 minutes, and I'll pull it out and I'll show you guys the finishing product. Alright, here she is. Look at that shine. Oh man. Look at that. Look at that. No matter what you guys do, you're gonna get that orange peel type look. But like I said, if you guys do a really great job of prepping, sanding the metal down, to very smooth, even though the valve cover was pretty smooth to begin with. But if you take time and prep it, then you won't see so much orange peel type look. See? Freaking great. I kind of don't want to install it on the car. I just want to keep it on the wall or something. So yeah, what is next is I'm gonna take this valve cover home, because right now I'm at my parents' house. This is where I got all my tools and stuff. So I'm gonna go home, sand down the letters, sand this down right here, and call it good. I forgot which one's yellow. I think these are yellow and then these are blue. I don't know. I have to go back and look at the pictures, but that's it for the powder coat. So next time I see you, we'll be at my apartment. Alright, so we are back in my garage, and I just kind of taped it off a little bit along the edges so that I wouldn't accidentally hit the sandpaper or sand block on the rest of the valve cover. So I'm pretty much done. All I gotta do is wipe this off, and I can start painting. I used 180 grit to do this. It would be better if you had something a little bit lower on the grit side to go faster. This probably took me a good 8 minutes of just sanding flat. Make sure your hand is stable as much as you can and just sand flat. Because last thing you want to do is get in here, and ruin it. So that part is done. I think I'm ready. I'm gonna go ahead, wipe this down with some acetone. Not acetone, like a degreaser. Wipe all the dust off, take off this tape, put new tape on, and then I'm gonna put tape on top, and take a razor blade knife and just pretty much, undo the letters and numbers. So let me do that real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, I have the letters cut out. I used one of those X-Acto knives. For the smaller letters, I use just a regular razor blade. For the bigger letters, so real quick, I'm gonna throw on one or two coats of this real quick before I put on the paint. You can use high temperature primer and use regular paint. This way the paint won't chip off. So I'm gonna spray this on real quick, and we'll get ready for the blue and yellow. Okay, so I put 3 coats of the high temperature paint primer on there. I did the blue. I did 2 coats of the blue. And now I'm gonna put on the yellow. I cut this out of I want to say it's cardboard. It's like hard paper, ram board, of what you would use like at a construction site to keep floors clean and not get damaged, like ram board. So what I'm gonna do is just kind of cover up just like that, so I don't get yellow on the other letters. So I'm gonna do that real quick. I'll be right back. Alright, so got that finished up pretty quick. I just finished putting down 2 coats of glossy clear. So now what I'm gonna do real quick is take everything off before it dries, because the last thing I want is for the paint to peel off, if it wants to peel off. So I'm gonna do that right now, so before it starts to really dry. So it's a different day, and this is how it came to be. The yellow, I guess it wasn't dried enough when I pulled the tape off, and some of the yellow came off and kind of showed the blue through. So I'm gonna redo the yellow in the same process that I did it. I'm just gonna let the yellow dry. The blue dried up fine after taking off the tape, but the yellow, I guess it wasn't dried enough. But oh well. You learn as you go, I guess. But yeah. Oh man. And about doing it this way of powder coating the valve cover. This way you don't have to worry about polishing it every weekend, making sure that it keeps its shine. This way you powder coat it chrome, it keeps its shine. You don't have to polish it. If you do get it greasy or whatnot, all you gotta do is take a clean microfiber rag and then just wipe it off. Just pretty much clean it like that, and its shine comes back.
Use the number. Oh, okay, now it's perfect. Because last time it was like that. Better work.
I think it helped.
Okay, moment of truth of this one.
This one went in.
Weird.
But it worked. We waited for it to really cool down.
Now there's a line of evidence.
I think we need to put 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here. So this is how I got the car now. I already replaced the outdoor handle on that door over there. I already replaced the e-brake handle there. For some reason someone put like a big screw in the button. I don't know why, but I mean, this is how it is now. Well, next time I get a chance to go to the junkyard, I'm gonna get some new back seats. Hopefully I can find some good ones. I'm gonna go ahead, just strip the paint off of the door panels and paint it, and anything that's blue, paint it black. I almost have everything for that center console, like for the car in the movie. The radio, I'm gonna put my own type of radio in. I'm not even gonna bother looking for the original stereo, because that is, to me, it's old technology, doesn't work that great. So I'm gonna use my own stereo in the car. I still have a bunch of wires to go through. I threw out bundles and bundles of wires from this car already so far, and I still got more wires to pull out, but I'm gonna worry about that later on. So let's put the carpet in right now. Oh man, what a difference already. Looks beautiful in the car. Man, big difference. So doing it this way, spray painting it, cleaning and spray painting it with fabric paint, spending, let's see, if we were to just use household stuff, we wouldn't have to pay extra. But the paint, I probably paid $16 in paint, just using 2 cans, But then I also had to use the right dyeing stuff, which probably helped a little, but it probably wasn't going to give me the color that I needed. So doing it this way, I probably was able to save $100. You know, we'll say some money for my time to clean it. We'll say we spent about $50. You know, with calculating my time to clean it with the paint and washing it and stuff. So this way I can reuse this. Luckily it wasn't bad. There's no rips in it or spots where the carpet's gone. So luckily I was able to reuse it. So save some money there. I had bought 2 cans of these right here and it worked perfect. Just one coat, it pretty much turned black. On the second coat, it got to the color that I needed to be, a dark black, of course, and it's perfect. And I was kind of skeptical about using this because it's an aerosol can, but it feels like regular carpet. It doesn't feel like it hardened or anything. It still feels like carpet. So I'm actually happy with this right here. So if you need to dye your carpet or paint it, I guess I recommend this. But I hear that people also use this on door panels. I might use it on that. So let's go ahead, put it back in the Eclipse. I'm not going to bolt anything down. I'm just going to slide it in and that's it. So let's go to the car. Oh man, it looks a lot better. So yeah, so right now I got the pieces that go there. They're in my garage. I'm just waiting to take the rest of the panels off of the car and paint them. I'm probably not going to paint them all together, probably in sections. So my plan is to do this car and spend less than 15 grand on it. That's the main goal here. Hopefully soon I can take the car over to my parents and I can take the sunroof off and weld in a piece of metal, get rid of that so I can get ready for the roof scoop. And yeah, I mean, this is the biggest thing I've done so far to the car, which is the carpet. You know, I've been fixing little things here and there, gathering little pieces here and there. So like I was saying, I pretty much have all the pieces to do this right here, which I'm going to hold off until I'm not moving this in and out of the car so often. Yeah. And I'll show you guys. I'm pretty much going to show you the rest of the way of the car, kind of step by step on what I'm doing. So other people that have the same questions that are probably building this Eclipse as well, hopefully these videos will help you along the way. But just to give you guys a heads up, this is going to be a slow process project, just so you guys know. I am going to keep it under 15 grand, but it's going to take me a while. For the car, I've been buying and collecting all the parts and pieces for the vehicle. I have I have a lot of things which I'll put here now, all the pictures that I have of the items that I have now for the car. So which are pretty much the exact same parts and or alike parts. But yeah, I think what I'm gonna do with the air conditioning and heating, I might go ahead and move this unit into here or something, I don't know, so that way I still have heat and air conditioning. In the summer I live in Oregon, so there's no real good temperature weather for us Oregonians here. So let me show you a little bit more of the car. when I bought it, it came with the ugly wing. Took that off, took off the antenna, took off the rear wiper. Has those ugly wheels on them. And this is what I got going on. And this is not how it looked like. There was a bunch of more wires running everywhere. But yeah, like I was saying, I'm pretty much gonna do it movie alike the car, just like the movie Car. But yeah, I have a lot to do. I need to put a belt for the power steering, because there's no power steering on the car right now, because obviously that belt is missing. And there's I don't know what the guy was thinking, but I gotta splice this connector off and put those white wires with along these wires right here. And let's see, there's more. There's actually 3 of these battery terminals. One was covered in tape. The other one, oh, here it is here, and the ground is over there. So yeah, they had 3 battery terminals. Why, I don't know. But yeah, I recently went to the junkyard and I saw how the car is actually wired. So hopefully I can put it back to factory and fix that. Yeah. Body wise, I gotta redo the side skirts, which I'm gonna go ahead and just throw those away and redo it. I still gotta finish fixing this dent, which me and my kids have been trying to fix, which I can get a little hammer in there and fix a little bit here, because this used to be all punched in right here, but we almost got it. So we almost got it. Alright, well, that's it for today. Oh man, we got a lot of work ahead of us, but that's it. But yeah, thanks to my ugly kids. They're gonna help me a little bit along the way. Alright, everybody, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to follow my adventure on my Fast and Furious Buster Eclipse build. Peace.